Media. In this chapter, we're going to go over Snapchat ads and why, to us, it's such a big opportunity right now. So where you're going to start with is you're going to go to this URL, forbusiness.snapchat.com, and this is where you're going to create your business account. You're going to come here. You can click Create an Ad. I'm already signed in, but you should see, a sign up button. Click that, sign up, add in your credit card info, and that's basically all you're going to need to get started. So where we see the opportunity here is you can run ads similar to what you're going to run on Instagram with your stories, with your Instagram story ads on here, but the cost per impression is going to be considerably cheaper. So we've noticed the cost per 1,000 impressions on Instagram is normally around $10. Really depends on the client. But on here, we've noticed that you can get that cost per 1,000 impressions down to $1. And when most people are thinking, when they think of Snapchat ads, they're thinking you're going to be targeting people, 16 to 22. But when we went and met with Snapchat, they said the majority of the people using their platform are actually aged 25 to 35. And that's who you want to be targeting with ads, because those are the people, they're past college, they have money to spend. And on here, since impressions are low, it's most likely going to be worth your while. And if it's not, it's just worth testing out, because it is going to be a lot cheaper than the other platforms. And once you figure it out, you'll really be able to scale up your ads at a pretty low cost compared to Facebook and Instagram, just because not as many advertisers are using the platform. So just like Facebook and Instagram, what we're going to want to do and start off with is placing the Snapchat pixel onto the website, just so that way you can start doing retargeting ads. You can start building lookalikes off of your purchasers and that kind of thing. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go in after you add in all your info. This is the screen that is going to be default for you. This is where you're going to manage your ads. You can see it's similar to what Facebook looks like. So where we're going to go is we're going to click in the top left corner. We're going to go under Manage, and we're going to click on Snap Pixel. And then here we're going to do Set Up My Snap Pixel. Since I already clicked the button once, you may have to do Create Snap Pixel and then click that, and then you'll have this screen pop up. And it's similar to Facebook, where it's going to give you a code, and then it'll also give you some code to put in between your head tag. But if you're on Shopify, which I hope you are, you're not going to have to do that. So all you're going to have to do is copy and paste this ID right here. We're going to go into Shopify. We're going to go into your apps on Shopify, and we're going to download the Snap Ads. Something's going on here. Let me just refresh my page. Shopify App Store. So what we're going to do on here is we're going to actually download the Snapchat Ads app. I can do this one. And then it's free, so we're just placing the pixel now, and we'll also create the product catalog to go into Snapchat. So we'll install. Okay, so now what you're going to want to do is paste that pixel ID there, click Set Up Pixel, and then we do have a few products, a few test products. I'm going to set up the Facebook, or the Snapchat catalog here. Log in. Continue. Continue. Okay, so now shoppable ads will be in there. Select organization, Prolific Holdings. We're going to select the ad account, test ad account, and save. So now those products will start syncing over. And now what we're going to be able to do is start running ads around the Snapchat pixel. Okay, so now we have our pixel set up. So now what you're really going to want to do is upload your creative. So I already have uploaded some creative in here, so we can go in and look at it. So I created a few test ads for when we build out the account framework. But what you're going to want to do is here, we'll look at through these ads. So we'll look through these ads here. So what you're really going to want to do is try to make them look as organic as possible. So what we've seen work the best for our apparel brands, but also just brands in general that we've worked with on here, is having them look like user-generated content. So this one is behind the scenes video of a dress. And then this is when that company was running a flash sale. And this one we used for retargeting. We did use it for top of funnel, but retargeting worked the best. But just using user-generated content like this, if you have a photo shoot, this guy kind of goes a long way, because you have to think these people are Snapchatting back and forth with their friends. If you make it look like, hey, this may be from one of my friends, they're going to stick around a little bit longer. And if they like it enough, they'll swipe up. Then we'll go in here, collection ads. This one is just a different video. We'll look at it. I don't know if I click on it, if it'll come up. That preview will go to there. But so yeah, so now what we're going to do is kind of create the ads and kind of how we would build out Snapchat, similar to how we do on Facebook. It's going to be a little bit different just because their platform's different, so we're not going to be able to build out the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 system the exact same way, kind of working people through the funnel, but you can do something rather similar. So actually first we're going to want to create our audiences. So we'll get started here. You can do a few things. You can do interest targeting, and you can do lookalike audiences. So what we're going to do is we are going to do lookalike audiences, but first what you're going to have to do is create audience match. So we'll come in here. Let's just go to here. I'm just going to upload some list that we have. Test list. Test. Okay. So that's a test list. So if you have an email list, I recommend you upload that here. And have the email and phone number. So now what we're going to want to do is create a lookalike off of that audience. So we're going to go back into audiences. We're going to do new audience, lookalike audience. The seed audience will be the one that we just uploaded. So yours should say customer list. We want that in the United States or whatever country you're based out of, and the majority of people that are in that list, or the majority of people you want to target with your ads. We choose the United States. What I usually do here is I'll do balance. So they have 3 different things: reach, balance, and similarity. So on Facebook, it has like 1% match, 1 to 2%, 2 to 3%. So if we're looking at it like this, I'm thinking of similarity is 0 to 1%, balance is like 0 to 2% per se, and then reach is 1 to 3% match. So what we usually do is balance, because that's what we've found to be the most like Facebook's lookalikes. And then I just leave this the same. I like having it basically look the way Snapchat, how they type it out here, lookalike dash balance dash United States test list. So you know exactly what it's from. You should say customer list here, or whatever you uploaded, whatever you name that list, that's what you should have here. So you quickly know, hey, it's a lookalike of my lead list that I got or whatever. So then from there, you're going to go create. And the one thing that you're going to see in Snapchat that's different is in Facebook, we created these engagement audiences based on, hey, they liked a post on my Facebook page 90 days ago. They fell in that audience. Or, hey, we created these retargeting audiences based on people that were on my site 7 days ago, 14 days ago, 30 days ago, 60, 90 days ago, whatever. So in Snapchat, you don't actually get to make those audiences yet. I'm hoping you can soon. That's something that they will automatically generate for you later on. So you'll see here's one of our accounts that we work with. They get a heavy amount of traffic. So 97,000 people in the last 7 days. But you're going to notice that when you go to their audiences, Snapchat actually makes a lot of the audiences. So in here, what you're going to see is, yeah, we uploaded the email lists, but then we created lookalikes of that. But they're actually making the page view audiences. They're making the add to cart audiences, the purchase audiences, the start checkout audiences. That's not something that we actually make ourselves, but that's something you will want to create lookalikes off of once you get to that point. So when you're looking at Snapchat ads, which I'm guessing where you're at, you're going to look at them as a top of funnel because you just placed the pixel and you're not going to be able to set up retargeting right away. But you will be able to get there. So what we're going to now do, now that we have the lookalike audience made, and you can do, I guess, in a way, retargeting to the uploaded email list that you have. So what we're going to go do is now we're going to create our ads. And there's two ways to do it, quick and easy, which is, well, like it is, quick and easy. I prefer to do advanced create because it kind of allows you to go a little bit more in depth. And create the campaign similar to how you would in Facebook. So we'll click Advanced Create. Then there's different things that you'll want to do here. I always do website conversions, but they do have, if you have a client that likes to, that needs lead generation, or if you yourself prefer to do lead generation, say you're doing like a giveaway, hey, sign up today to enter win a package. Or a $100 gift card for your site. You could do something like that and then just have an automated email sequence go out to those people, to eventually break even on your campaign. You could do that on here and you'd be able to get leads for pretty cheap as long as your offer is good enough. But in this case, we're going to do website conversions. Actually, no, we're not going to be able to with this account. So we are going to do awareness for now. Actually, so what you're going to want to do is, since your pixel is probably new, is you're going to want to do drive traffic to the website. If you don't get enough conversions on your website yet, eventually you're going to want to optimize for this. But if you don't have, because we just placed the pixel, so you just placed the pixel. So in the initial ads, when you're testing out right away, you're going to have to do drive traffic to the website, and you're just going to have to kind of deal with it for now. But once you're able to see, like if we go back to this account, once you're able to see purchases and have enough data on purchases, that's when you're going to want to do website conversions. And then you can optimize for conversions similar to how you would with Facebook. So what we're going to do here is drive traffic to the website. We're going to click that. We're going to name the campaign, traffic. So what we're going to do is when we dive in and rename the campaigns later, we'll name them, instead of in the campaign, we'll name them within the ad. So we'll just type this conversion goal. Let's actually name it goal traffic. Then we'll run immediately. And then if you want to set a spend cap for a daily use, you can here. Let's just do it for $100 for now. That way, hey, we know the campaign's not going to spend over that. So I think they have a minimum. I believe it's a 40-day minimum. So we'll just put it at 50 because all these are going to be turned off anyway, and I don't want to spend money if it doesn't have to. So now once we go in here, we have our lookalike audience. So that's what we're going to use. So we're going to use our lookalike audience here. So lookalike. So what I'm actually going to go down here and do is do predefined audiences. So it looks like that's still loading. So since your lookalike audience is still loading, that's where you would pick it down here. But what I'm going to do here is do interest targeting. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is say we're selling dresses or you're selling apparel focused towards women. We'll do interest targeting here, and then we'll come back up here and change the name once we get to that point. Okay. So in this case, I'm just going to do snap ad, edit placements. I usually allow their algorithm to put it on all the placements. It really kind of just depends. We just want the United States. Now, what you're going to want to do with snap ads is you're really not going to want anybody too young to see your ad, just because those people aren't going to be the best customers. What I would focus on is when you're running them, for those of you running them, go 25 plus. If you have products that are working on Facebook ads to younger audiences, you can. But I wouldn't recommend going any lower than say 20, just because those people really don't have the money to spend unless you're looking to drive those younger people for app downloads and that kind of stuff. But if you're looking for e-commerce sales, I wouldn't recommend going lower than 25 plus. For this brand, for our test site that we have set up, let's just say it's women's dresses. So I'm going to target females because that would be the better, just makes sense. Language, we'll leave that. So one thing that I will do in here, which is good to do when you're targeting people on Snap, is to figure out, okay, I want to target people that have income and exposable money to spend. So you're going to just click Advanced Demographics. What we like to do is do Datalogix HXI 50 to 75K. We'll do 75 to 100K. Then also 100 to 250K. And what you're seeing here is, hey, there's still 8 million people in that audience. That would be a good fit to buy the product. And then we'll go down here. We'll do lifestyle. Let's just do women's lifestyle. So you can just type in women. And here, what you can do is apparel shoppers. So we're selling dresses. We're going to do apparel shoppers. And you can see there, it's all right. So now what we're targeting is women, 25 plus, that make over 50K a year that are into apparel. So up here, I'm going to go up and change it. So we'll do women, 25 plus, 50K plus, into apparel. So there, it's like you already know, like, hey, this is what we're doing. This is who we're targeting. This is what we're going after. Okay. And then we'll set the budget, $50 a day. If you're starting out, you can set that to, I believe, at a minimum $20 a day, and that would be okay. And then, so the goal for now is just getting a swipe up. So once you get a little bit further on, you're going to actually be able to make your goal a purchase or getting an add to cart. But for right now, since we just created the pixel, we just created the ad account, you're going to have to make the goal a swipe up. Now, the big tip right now before you start running ads is bids. So what you're going to want to do here is when you're starting out to do a max bid. And what we've noticed is the lower you make the bid, the lower your CPM is going to be. And since there's not a lot of advertisers on Snap at the time, you're going to actually be able to get close to what you're bidding, even if you're bidding, 8-9 cents a click. So what I would do if I was you starting out, I'm going to start off my bid super low. So it's suggesting you to do 36 cents to $1.23. I think you can bid lower than that. I think you can bid a lot lower than that, just because there aren't that many people on the Snapchat platform right now. So you're going to be able to bid, 8 cents a click. And then what you're going to want to do is when you're optimizing the ads going forward, you're just going to keep changing the bid. If you notice, hey, this ad isn't getting that much reach, it's not spending my budget, then you put the bid a little bit higher. Say you make that 12 cents a bid. It hasn't been spending my budget. Then you may notice too that, hey, it's spending my budget pretty quickly. I'm going to make this bid 5 cents. Then eventually you just keep bidding down until it kind of reaches a point of equilibrium where, hey, it's spending the budget. You're bidding as low as possible. This way, this is how you're really going to be able to see your cost per impression be super low. So when we started running Snap ads for clients, we noticed our CPM on there was around $3, again, which is low compared to Instagram. But we thought, hey, maybe we can get it lower. It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of competition on there. So this is what we did. We kept lowering our budget, our bid, down to eventually we're like, man, we can bid 5 cents and it's still going to show our ads. And it just worked. I think actually for one of our clients, we worked it all the way down to, like 5 or 6 cents. And it kind of reached the point where it's like, hey, it's spending the budget. It's doing well. And if we keep spending, I guess making the budget higher, it's going to still spend that even if the bid stays the same. So what you're going to want to do, definitely change your bid strategy, make it 5 cents, start with low, and then you can always work your way up. Since you're starting low, you can also work your way down if it is spending your budget in full. So pacing, you're going to want to do standard. And then we don't need any third-party tagging here. I think we're okay with that. So I think this is good. So now what we're going to do is we're doing interest targeting, since again it didn't let us do our lookalike yet just because it hasn't been uploaded long enough. So now we're going to go in. We target people in the US, again 25 to 35. If you're running print on demand and you're selling products to guys, I would do pretty much this exact same thing. I would just change it to male. And just change that up here, change the name. But I think if you're selling any products online and you do have women's products, I think this would be a good audience for you. Just because, again, you're targeting women who are more prone to buy, that are over 25, that have money to spend, and that are into apparel. So from here, what I'm going to do is I can click continue. Oh, another thing too that I've noticed that really does help when it comes to getting conversions is connection type here. So when you're going around, you're driving around, you're at the store, you're at school, you're doing whatever, you're at your parents' house, whatever, you're normally, just on cell data. But when you're relaxed, when you're shopping, what we've noticed is that those people that are buying from their devices right away from Snap ads, those people are on Wi-Fi. Because when you're on Wi-Fi, you're usually somewhere that's familiar, you're connected, you can stay a little while, you're not just swiping through looking at your friend's snaps, you're sitting somewhere at home, relaxed, maybe with the TV on in the background, and you have time to spare, time to spend. So what we've noticed is the people that make purchases are actually the people that are on Wi-Fi. So if you're an e-commerce brand, not just looking to get leads, but to get sales, we do recommend having Wi-Fi connected here. So we do Wi-Fi connected. So this is how we would name it. So this way, when you're looking at the ad sets, all right, which one's working? Interest targeting. So that's 05. Interest targeting women that are over 25, that make more than 50K a year, that are into apparel, that are also connected to Wi-Fi. So that's an audience of 2.5 million people. So it's a good size that you're going to be able to really scale the ad up. It's not too broad. It's kind of in that sweet spot between 2 and 5 million people where it's like, hey, the ad's targeted. So this is a good audience. And again, if you're targeting men, you can do something similar. Just change this instead of women to men down here and make it male. And you can play in here. They have a decent amount of predefined audiences that you can play with. So let's just go back. Let's take that out. But I mean, adventure seekers, if you sell products around rock climbing, film and TV, people that are into different genres of movies, people that are into working out, if you sell that kind of stuff, people that like coffee, gamers. I mean, there's a lot of different things here that you can sell and target to that I think a lot of people kind of overlook when they look at Snapchat. And it's pretty similar to Facebook. It's not as in depth as Facebook, but it's pretty similar. What is nice again on here that you can't do on Facebook anymore is this, where you're targeting people off of how much they make per year. So just to continue, we're going to go to next after we have all that set. Again, important things here to remember. Max bid. Don't let it do auto bid. Your CPM is going to be $2 to $3 more. Set your max bid. We set it very low. Have people connected to Wi-Fi. And definitely when you're due age, have the age set up. So we're going to just go to next. Okay, so this is where you're going to have your creative. One thing that I've noticed that works really well is you can do a screen record of your phone just on your website and kind of scroll up and down the screen on your top sellers page where it kind of looks like the user would be shopping around, and then having a collection ad around that could be good. Having videos around, if you have a photo shoot, have a video like, just the model moving around in the clothing with, you can make it in Snapchat. That's actually what we do for the majority of the ads that we do on Snap, is actually make them within Snapchat itself, just because it's easier, and then the formatting is right and all of that. So when you send it over and upload it, it's super, super easy. So we actually do have some existing ads made. So we will do this general one. Because if you guys want to see this one, we have made. Sorry for the sound, but it's just model shots of a girl moving around and some of the new arrivals for this brand. So that's one of our test ads that we'll put in there. We have it automatically going to, well, in this case, it would be to our test store, but we have it going to the top selling collection. And we send them to a collection just because we don't like doing single product ads, because if a product sells out, you're going to have to turn that ad off, and then if it's your best performing ad, then your account's kind of screwed. So we like making ads around collections and driving these top of funnel people to collections, because that way they get to see, hey, wow, this brand has a cool product assortment. It's different. I like it. And they actually get to see other products that they're probably going to be more interested in than the one that you put in their face in the ad. So what I normally do is when I'm building out these ad sets is they have the ads queue over here. So that's the first ad, right? I selected it. I'm going to do create another ad. I'm going to click that. I'm going to load the existing creative. Click it here. There's another one. So I'll just run you through the ad creation process here. I'll do another one so you kind of can build, similar to how Facebook, how you have ads within ad sets. This is their way of doing that. So we'll do another one here. We'll do test ad general -3, brand name test ad, and then we'll do shop. Yeah, what I usually do here is kind of have a call to action, like shop our top sellers, check out our new arrivals, something like that. Check out our new arrivals. And then from here, what I will do is I will upload a video. Here are the 2 sample ones I uploaded. We'll put that one in there. And what you're going to notice is if you create your actual ad and video in Snapchat and email it to yourself and download it, it's going to be sized wrong. So one website that is really, really super useful is this one, which is onlineconverter.com/resize-video. What you'll do here is we'll upload file. Let's go here, and then we'll go to this one. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to email it over to yourself, the creative, and then you're going to want to have to upload it here, just because when you do it on your phone, it's not going to be totally sized properly. So you're going to have to come here, upload the video. It's going to have to be vertical, and you're going to have to make the width 1080, and then the height 1920. And then that's going to resize. It's going to download it, and then we'll go back in here and upload it. And that's really the best way to troubleshoot how to change the sizing. Is this website here. Again, it's super nice for us because you don't have to have any expensive software to resize the video. I mean, just go on here, upload your video, and then resize it. I mean, it's just as easy as what I just did. So I'll drop a link here to this video or to this website for you. But then, again, it's just onlineconverter.com/resize-video. And then again, the width needs to be 1080 and the height needs to be 1920. So we'll go back to the ads here. So we're creating them. We have the brand name, which you're going to have. Check out new arrivals. So a lot of people ask, hey, how do I get my account hooked up with it? You don't have to have your actual Snapchat account hooked up to the ad account, just because you don't have to. I do get that question a lot. So now we have the video loaded. It's kind of a user-generated content feeling. It's just a close-up of the girl walking around, and then, hey, flash sale. Lucky for you today, it's 20% off your entire order. There's the promo code. So what we're going to do is, let me just get the URL of the test store here, just so I can put it in there. Put the website URL. And then I'll usually use Shop Now or Swipe Up. Those I've noticed the best. The other ones are, especially when it comes to e-commerce, more can work. But Shop Now or Swipe Up have been the best. I'll use Shop Now in this case. I'll put in the URL there. And then here are 2 things that are kind of useful to know about. If you have any forum on your page, Snapchat has what they call autofill. And what autofill does is, say somebody clicks on your ad and you have that form on there, Snapchat already knows that person's phone number, email, and name. So with autofill on, it allows that person to click on the ad or swipe up to the ad and click one button and all that stuff would be filled out. So if you're doing lead generation, I really do recommend autofill because it does help out when it comes to actually getting leads for a cheaper cost. So I would recommend that. In this case, this is for an e-commerce site, you don't need to have autofill on. One other thing that is very nice is preload, but what it does is, so it has pros and cons to it. So what preload is doing is, so you're on Snapchat, you're looking at people's stories, and then the ad pops up. As soon as the ad pops up, Snapchat preloads that page for them. Whether they swipe up or not, the page loads. And what that is doing is, on your website, it shows, hey, there's a user on my website right now. And that's going to trigger your Facebook pixel, which would throw that person into a retargeting audience on Facebook, which helps broaden out those retargeting audiences. But if that person wasn't interested in the product at all, then they're not a good person to actually target. So that's the con of having preload on, is that it's adding people to your retargeting audience that probably shouldn't be in there. Because say this person is just swiping through, friend's story, your ad pops up, your website loads, that person gets triggered with their Facebook pixel for your retargeting audiences, and then they just swipe past the ad and never actually go to the website. You're not going to really want to retarget them on the other platforms since they didn't really care enough to swipe up anyway. So that's the con of it. The pro of it is nice to have on because your page is loaded instantly. So if somebody does swipe up, the page is loaded. They don't have to wait, a second for it to load. It's already there. It's ready to go if they're really, really interested in the product, which does help the conversion rate. If you're a new store, what I would recommend would be having preload on. I would recommend having it on if you're a new store. If you're kind of a store that has been around for a while, I wouldn't recommend having it on just because you don't want to mess up your already profitable retargeting audiences on the other platforms. So it has pros and cons. If you're new, I would have it on at the beginning, and then once you start seeing some success, I would turn preload off. But it's pros and cons. It's really what you want. So yeah, in this case, I'm going to leave preload on. And delivery active, we don't need to have it tagged with anything down here. So now what we've done, guys, is we created the campaign name, which is link clicks, ad set. Right now, all we're doing in the ad sets is targeting that interest group of women over 25 that are into apparel that make over 50 grand a year. And then here are the 3 ads we're targeting with them. So now we're going to click next. And this will kind of just give you a recap of what I just said. So campaign name, we called it goal. Traffic, we're going to spend $50 a day. We're targeting, again, women 25 plus that make over 50K a year that are into apparel, that are also connected to Wi-Fi. And that's important just because if they're connected to Wi-Fi, they have time to shop. They're not at a baseball game where, hey, my friend sent me a Snapchat and the ad's just going to kind of get wasted. They're at home where they have time to actually go and buy something from your store. We have the Snapchat pixel placed already. And then what we can do there is just click publish campaign. So now all the ads are going to be publishing. Okay. So now we'll just go to manage campaign. So I'm going to go in here and just turn that off just because I don't want to waste money on these ads going to that bogus URL. So now what you're going to want to do is on this page, it's similar to Facebook. You'll see it's a campaigns, ad set. So in here, that's where we have the 05 interest targeting. What you're eventually going to do in here is have your general retargeting in here, where you're targeting people that have been on your website in the past 30 days. Snapchat doesn't really go down granular into past 7 days yet, past 14 days yet, similar to how you would do retargeting on Facebook. I think they will get there. They're just not there yet. And then what we're going to do now is, so if we just want to look at the overview campaigns, this is the one we made. The one we have set up is interest targeting. Then here are the actual 3 ads that are in that. So what you'll be able to see here is just this is their default columns. This is their default columns. You know, paid cost per 1,000 impressions, spends, swipe ups, cost per swipe up. What you're going to want to do here is they kind of let you save columns, but they make it a headache. So when you check the ads, you're going to want to go in here and just do ROAS. You're going to want to do purchases, purchase value, and cost per purchase. So normally I'll have cost per purchase up here, return on ad spend be the first thing, purchase value there, and then I believe we'll do cost per add to cart, because that is a metric. They don't have, one thing I really like about Facebook is they do have add to cart value. These guys don't have cost per add to, or don't have add to cart value. They do have cost per add to cart, which is nice, but at the same time, I'd rather have the value of it, but I think they'll get there. So we'll save that. So now with these columns, what you're going to really want to look at is, this is what we spent, this is what we've made, this is the cost per purchase, cost per add to cart. In some ads, you may see a really low cost per add to cart, and others high. So say this one, add to cart was $1. This one had, $11 and $20, and none of them have purchases. I would turn these ones off and really let this one try to scale, even if it spent like $20, $30 without a purchase, just because, hey, it's getting add to carts. I think eventually it will get a purchase because people are liked it enough. And then even if it's not getting purchases but getting add to carts on Snapchat for that cheap, say this one was getting add to carts for $1, you're going to be able to retarget those people with your Google ads. You're going to be able to retarget those people with your Facebook and Instagram ads, and they will convert there. So it's worth doing, because what I think Snapchat is really, really good at this point in time is getting a lot of people to learn about your company for a really, really, really cheap cost and really fill up your top of funnel efficiently for the other platforms to work. And it also is a good retargeting funnel, but you have to have enough traffic to make it so. If you don't get enough traffic, it's not going to work as a retargeting funnel, just because their platform doesn't let you build out those audiences. They have to make them for you once you get to a certain amount of traffic, unfortunately. So that's Snapchat ads in a nutshell. That's how you would build them out. They do have other things in here, creative library. You can create audiences. What I try to do is, if I'm doing interest targeting, try to do it as similar to what you're doing on Facebook. I don't think Snapchat should be the first channel you jump on. I think you should test out Instagram ads, figure out the audiences that work on Instagram, figure out the ads styles that work on Instagram, and then come over to Snapchat and really hone in and build out those top of funnel audiences. And then once you start getting traffic, you can create the retargeting campaigns.